Nice and comfortable inside down here on the lower level of the house. T-Rex, you ready? Let's go out to this Thursday. Thursday, not just any day, all season long. Thursday has been the day of the fronts. All winter, Mondays and Tuesdays were great, and then Thursday it would rain or snow or blow or something. And then this Thursday, severe thunderstorms are gonna cross New England. This morning it's 72 degrees at 8 a.m. and the sky just cleared. We had low clouds and fog at sunrise. Do not have my noise canceling mic on. I want the natural sound. So the temperature's in the 70s, yet there's dew in the grass. So that means the dew point is also in the 70s. Here's the regional temperature and dew point roundup from first thing this morning. And the warmest, most humid spot is in northwestern Vermont with a temperature in the 70s at Highgate. What was it, 75 with a dew point of 73. So up and down I-91, Connecticut River Valley, Hudson River Valley. The dew point started off in the 70s today with the temperature also in the 70s. So that is sticky. And now we have the heating of the sun. The Boston buoy, I'm not going to show it, but the Boston buoy this morning was 160 degrees. That is air from the southeast. Day 7 in a row with an onshore flow at the Boston buoy. But we're done with that. That old high pressure system that came through last Friday, breaking the heat. You know, Boston has not had a 90-degree day yet this year. Last Thursday, it was 89 in Boston. 2 Thursdays ago, we had a sea breeze, but it was 95 degrees in Westfield and Hartford and the Pioneer Valley. And now today, we're monitoring the severe thunderstorm threat. The satellite image this morning, I guess the most telling thing on this is the fact that it was clear in southwestern New York and, well, south central New York and Pennsylvania. And then you have the fog that's burning off right before our eyes across Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Then you have some thunderstorm activity, decaying old thunderstorms in southern Canada. So the fact that the sun is going to be coming out today and there's an incredible front coming at us. We've been talking about this for about 6 days, how strong the low pressure system was going to be crossing north of New England on our Thursday. Here's the 2 o'clock map this afternoon, and you see a warm front north of us, cold front west of us, low pressure coming across Ontario. That low is going to be sub 995 millibars. That's a very powerful summer storm, and the air is ripe. Today is going to be 90 degrees, and thunderstorms are going to erupt, and they're going to be strong to severe. The Severe Storm Prediction Center says we are in an enhanced risk just southwest of Connecticut, and that's almost the top risk level. And then you have mostly the yellow across western New England. So western New England is most vulnerable to the thunderstorms. And yes, the green shade there, there's not 0% chance of a tornado. There's 2% chance of a tornado from some of these thunderstorms coming at us this afternoon and this evening. So let's go right to it with the NAM and the high res, which again has changed a little bit. Yesterday it looked like the worst of the storms were going to be in Vermont. Now it may be more Massachusetts and Connecticut. There we go through 2 o'clock, not much going on. Then right at 3, 4 o'clock, those little specks turn into broken convective squall lines with embedded severe weather, and they're moving fairly rapidly from west southwest to east northeast, probably 30-40 miles per hour, and they are little dynamos. Even though there's not a ton of wind aloft, these are going to mix down gusts of 50 to 70 miles an hour with some small hail possible, even though it's so warm outside, because there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere. Those tend to fade and move off, and then that low goes to our north tonight and tomorrow, and then there's going to be this backlash of wind and rain showers tomorrow afternoon. Well, tomorrow morning first in northwestern Vermont, and then lifting north into New Hampshire. There's going to be a lull in the wind, CW, and then the wind is really going to ramp up tomorrow midday and afternoon, gusting 40 to 50 in the hills as much drier air mass comes in. The dew point is going to fall into the 50s tomorrow with these winds, and shower activity should stay north. But just as quickly as it gets less humid tomorrow, with temperatures only around 80 to 85 instead of 85 to 90, but much more comfortable. and very windy, but then the wind is going to die down quickly tomorrow night. And then Saturday, there are some raindrops around, not much, but little specks. There's going to be a warm front coming right back at us on Saturday. And although the day looks mostly dry, by late in the day and overnight and Sunday morning, there's another feature we've been talking about all week, a possible derecho-like event in northern New England on Saturday night and Sunday morning. More on that in a moment. Here's the wind forecast from the NAM. These are the maximum gusts expected, and these are usually a little overdone. So there's today from the west-southwest, mostly in the hills and in the embedded thunderstorms, but it is going to become very windy this afternoon in all of New England, even outside of the thunderstorms. And then there's a hole in the wind, almost an eye-like feature in northern New England tonight and tomorrow morning. And then their backside there, southern Vermont, see that little bit of yellow? That's a wind gust of greater than 50 miles an hour. That's 10 a.m. and then by 2 p.m. that wind gust is up to you in Errol, New Hampshire, CW, with a wind gust of 50 to 60 miles an hour there coming off the presidentials, down sloping off the presidentials, could be pretty significant. And then tomorrow night that wind will let up, and then Saturday night it's probably going to end up being worse than this. So wind and storms and heat. And breaking news, guess what? The Euro, which has been pretty consistent with all of this, says that there's not a heat wave in Boston. Heat wave is 3 days in a row of 90 plus. So here's the meteogram. Now, Boston has not had a 90-degree day yet, but the Euro says it's not going to today either, but I think it is. I think today's our first 90-degree day in Boston. Last Thursday it was 89. And then tomorrow that humidity goes down, the dew point goes down, that blue line goes back down in the 50s, the red line is in the 80s, and it's wind gusting past 40 miles an hour during the midday and afternoon. And then on Saturday, we have a little in-between with maybe just a chance of a shower. Temperatures are in the 80s. The dew point's coming back up to near 70 by Saturday night and Sunday. Now that the Mesoscale Convective Complex is going to miss Boston to the north, but on Sunday, on the backside of that, it's really a windy, hot, furnace-like thing that's going across northern New England. So Boston all of a sudden is back to near 90 degrees on Sunday and dew point near 70. But then on Monday, look at that, there's an onshore flow, and we do not get to 90 in Boston on Monday, but most of New England is going to be 90 on Monday. And then Tuesday, all of us are near 100, so extreme heat and record heat still on the table for Tuesday. And then Wednesday, look at that. The temperature does not get to 90 even in Boston on Wednesday. A backdoor-like front may prevent a heat wave in Boston, while inland and especially Connecticut, it's still going to be near 100 degrees on Wednesday with a heat-breaking front. And then next Thursday, much cooler. And on the very far right, next weekend, you guessed it, thunderstorms. We have not had a dry weekend in New England since February 22, 23. You've heard that a million times. So why say it again, Tim? Here's the Euro going forward. And major thunderstorm threat across the northeast today with that low going into Canada. There were so many severe storms upstream, so it's a lock for severe weather here this afternoon, tonight. And then tomorrow, you can't really see it yet, but there's an extreme heat going on in the Central Plains, and there's going to be a blossoming batch of thunderstorms. Well, wait, let me rewind a little bit. Sorry about that. I wanted to show a closer up of what's going on in northern New England now tomorrow morning. So I'm going to back up and look at northwestern Vermont. You see right beneath that low and all those tight packing of isobars, that's that wind threat. It actually shows up better on this graphic, even though it's a wide graphic. And then, all right, that wind comes across New England with rain at the Canadian border tomorrow and much cooler at the Canadian border. So this is a real cold front compared to what's going to happen on Saturday and Sunday. That is not going to be a cold front. We're going to go back now, keep moving to Saturday and watch over northern Minnesota on the northern edge of extreme heat. That is a convective complex, could look like a derecho, and it's going to deepen and hold together across Ontario Saturday night, and then I'm going to stop it again on Sunday morning at 5 a.m. And that is incredible. It's a sub-1,000 millibar low, but it's not a cold front. It's just a big, like, bowling ball of hot thunderstorms and humid and kind of gross weather in southern New England, with the dew point coming back up to 70, becoming very windy, and the thunderstorm threat is serious. I think more serious than today for northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and Maine on Sunday. And note on the very far left, there are winter weather advisories in effect in Glacier National Park, Montana, for snow this weekend. 5 to 10 inches of snow near Glacier Park, Montana. at the same time that this extreme heat is on our doorstep. So when that bowling ball like convective complex goes across Maine, it's going to whip wind down into southern New England, and we may have a thunderstorm all the way to northern Massachusetts here. Keep it moving on Sunday, and that is not a heat-breaking front. That's a heat-enhancing front, but the only thing is, on the backside of it, we may end up with an onshore flow here on Monday in Boston, but in western New England and anywhere inland, we're back into the 90s, and it's really day one or day two of a heat wave, because Sunday now looks like it's going to be 90. And then on Monday night and Tuesday, we have another powerful storm going off to the west and to the north, and there is going to be a heat-breaking front coming at us with off and on thunderstorms Tuesday near 100 degrees. That's not getting a heat-breaking front. Those are just spot thunderstorms. And then it's Wednesday, this high-pressure system coming across Ontario. It's more progressive. It's been the tendency now for that get that front down into southern New England on Wednesday afternoon. So around New York City, we're still 100 degrees, but in Boston and Portland, Maine, we may end up with fog and a thunderstorm with temperatures in the 70s, but dew point's also near 70. So that's really interesting. That's Wednesday. And Thursday, the front is off to our south. It doesn't show much going on, but it's onshore flows, and the guidance is saying it's going to be mostly cloudy next Thursday and very sticky, but not in 90 degrees, but a chance for thunderstorms. Then we go to Friday, and the heat is pushed off to the south a little bit, but it's still a very warm atmosphere, and the boundary to our south is very subtle, and so it's going to be really sticky, warm, and humid with chance of showers and thunderstorms. Now this goes out to, I'm going to stop it at 2 p.m. on day 10, which is now June 28th, the last Saturday of June, and right across central New England. Look at that little low pressure system with thunderstorms next Saturday. So that'll be weekend 16 in a row with some rain somewhere in New England if this verifies. And the front next week is going to wreak havoc. So to recap, severe thunderstorms with a tornado possible today. First 90-degree day in Boston. Tomorrow, very windy, much less humid. And then a severe storm complex Saturday night, Sunday morning across the Canadian border. It's going to have ramifications across all of New England with the wind on Sunday. And then on Monday, hot. Tuesday, hot. And spot thunderstorms and a heat-breaking front next Wednesday. And that's it. Thank you, everybody, for the comments yesterday. Barbara Prue telling me that a rose is a rose is a rose is a poem by, I don't remember, but it just means it is what it is what it is. Thank you, Barbara, for commenting on that. And a rose by any other name still is fragrant. T-Rex and Steve being so patient. Looks like they're both kind of trapped where they are, but not too eager to get untrapped. Steve, let's untrap you. So the N More yesterday features a lot of the big dig and a you'll remember where you were when moment. And Danielle Murr talked about this on the radio this morning. I was thinking the same thing. Like, you remember where you were when the space shuttle exploded. I was at Lyndon State College in the dorm, Portland Hall, and when 9/11 happened, I was in my apartment in West Roxbury, and the OJ chase, I don't remember where I was then, but I do remember it, the white Bronco. And yesterday, when Karen Reed was found not guilty, I was across the street with Lucy and Jerry. Thank you, Lucy and Jerry, for hosting me. I didn't know that was going to be happening, but I'll remember where I was. And so a little of that, and then I went down the beach. And thank you, Barry, for lending me that board. It was really fun. Good to see everybody down the beach yesterday, and it just turned glorious at the end of the day. That sun came out, the wind went light. Oh, and boy, did I blow that wind forecast for the sailboat race. Was there even a sailboat race yesterday, Kevin? Sorry about that. The wind went to calm at sunset, which was great for me cleaning out this yard a little bit. You know, I can't work on my garden if I've got this huge pile of old Alberta spruce piled up here. The pile has been going from this side to this side to this side. Now I finally have access back to my worm farm and tomatoes that I started indoors, which may or may not survive. So I definitely need to give more love to this area. I see a pea flower up there. I might get one pea. And yeah, I had a good fire here, and it was a beautiful sunset. I didn't make a video of the fire or video of the sunset. I have a photograph. So blowing the wind forecast is humbling. you got to get the wind forecast right to get anything else right. And the wind direction in Boston over the next 5 days may preclude a heat wave, but New England is getting a heat wave. And so here's the and more from yesterday. And now tomorrow is the summer solstice. We'll talk more about what a solstice means in the and more, weather and more tomorrow. There you go, T-Rex. And more from our Wednesday, June 18th. T-Rex, were you concerned about Steve? He likes it outside, except for when he gets wrapped around things. Sorry, Steve. Not for you now. I know. My bad. Okay, you're free. Where do you want to go? Up the stairs, in the house. Not wet, almost chilly. Let's check the temperature. Yeah, 70 will feel really good after the incoming heat. 10:44 a.m. We've got raindrops, summer showers, and what's that? The cement pump truck is here. I missed it last week. Look at this. Wow. So where's the cement? I don't think the cement's here yet, but we're getting ready. I think it might be time for a time lapse. Except for the fact that I don't want my camera getting wet again. Elephant's got nothing on this trunk. From Cape Cod, no less. Hulk. Jeffrey Hulk. Loving memory of Jeffrey D. Hulk. Life is good. All right, this is so long I can't even tell. I'm gonna try and pace it off. 3, 6,
9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45, 48, 51, 54, 57, 60, 63, 66, 69, 72.
75, about 80 feet long extension of this boom. Yeah, pacing barefoot in this gargantuan lawn. I don't even know how to describe it. Not what they were selling us, that's for sure. You should see me using the golf club on these things. Maybe I'll do a time lapse of me hitting these with the golf club too. Well, we've got a pump truck, but we don't have any cement trucks, so let's go check out, see if there's any cement trucks. You know the way, Rex? Yeah, this is the sound we woke up to this morning. They're doing a little rock work over there. So they're continuing the revetment. See, there is a road above the oncoming revetment that I think is wide enough for a cement pump truck. I mean, for a cement truck, otherwise why would the pump truck be there? Pump truck. Where are they? Little look back in time right here. The different layers from the 40s and 50s, 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and more and more and more. Just getting going for today. What you eating there, T-Rex? This is also known as the Old Beach, Wessagusset, quite the hub 50 years ago. And this is where T-Rex came from. He was being released by a family on the beach here 7 summers ago. And this was the first walk we used to do all the way out to the end here, adjacent to the Wessagusset Yacht Club. And we've got another view over towards that big dig, which is going to connect the two beaches. So our house is right around the corner over there. No sign of any cement trucks yet, but I would say they got to be incoming, right? Surgeon. Boulder surgeon. Tied down with battleship chains. Mushroom anchors. sailors and T-Rex. What are you doing? Want to go back? All right. There goes one. Where are you going? Masts are ready to go on the sailboats as soon as the kids get out of school. We'll have young sailors. I think that concrete truck, new to the neighborhood, coming about. Not that easy, is it? Gotta get yourself down there somehow. You're not getting tired, are you, Rex? Come on. Come on. Let's go. Double time it. That's more like it. Yeah. Tell him to walk these walls. First thing, when he was a little baby. They grow up so fast. And then we usually run up that hill. It's good work. All right. Coming back. There it goes. Lawrence, stop. Car. Lawrence from Cape Cod? All right, let's go into the backyard. We gotta go catch up with him, Rex. All right, let's go. Let's double time it, all right?
Up there. No need to go to the gym when you live on a hill. Let's go, Rex. I know it. I think the truck probably beat us. Let's go check. What do you see? Good job beating me up here.
Getting up here before me, not beating me up. Come on. All right. Time lapse, maybe? Lawrence, Ready Mix, Plimpton, Massachusetts. I think we might have one of these dentists too, also. He's gonna sleep good now, so am I. Let's take a siesta while we make a time-lapse video, T-Rex. You have the right shoes on. There it goes. Concrete going into the bin. Stern end of the pump truck. Oh, we break for birds. Yeah, that egret's pretty chill, huh? Oh, gotta adjust my tripod. Processing. Like plumbers and firemen, concrete men. Plumbing concrete. They're in the Weymouth Big Dig. About 1 p.m. Working through lunch. Wednesday, June 18th. I think that hose the person in the green shirt has is running all the way from those tanks we saw way up on the shelf, at least 600 yards away. And so on and so on and so on. There they are, leveling it off. Hard work indeed. Oh, making some progress on the top of the boardwalk over there too. Correction, it's 11:50. Jumped ahead of myself a little bit there. So we'll come back in a while and see the progress. Pretty warm, gray day. That warm front is just stuck south of us. There's the severe weather on the left. And how many days in a row of flash flooding in Pennsylvania? And now it is 1:30. How about a cat's eye view? Steve is snoozing of the action. Boom is getting higher as they're filling in toward the source of the cement. Coming in down there. Major severe weather outbreak happening in Illinois right now. And there's a hurricane off the Pacific, off of Mexico. Eric, expected to be a Category 3 coming ashore tomorrow, which is now today, and the end more for our Thursday, June 19. Where were you when Karen Reed was found not guilty? High five. Come on, Lucy, high five. You wouldn't stop doing it a couple minutes ago.
No, she can do it.
High five. Not guilty. Indiana lit up from top to bottom. Hopefully that's a little weaker when it gets to New England in about 24 hours. Wonder how it's going down the beach. Looks like we may have a offshore flow. Is that possible? And a Carnival. Is there a swell? Oh, it looks pretty flat. Well, we can go to the Carnival though. So the Carnival might be open tonight. What time do Carnivals open anyway? Carnival in Hull. Beautiful evening. It's a tiny swell. There are people in the water. T-Rex, who's that? Get the matching board, Barry. We're here. And there is a swell. And finally, for the first time since like last Thursday, about 6 or 7 days, there is not an onshore breeze. We got an offshore breeze. We got some kind of surf camp or something going on down there. And little peelers. Tide's still incoming, so at least there's plenty of room. Someone want to catch a wave while I make this video? 5 o'clock. There was just a real nice set. Everyone caught a wave just a second ago. I missed it. All right, I gotta wax up and get out there. You just mind the vehicle, okay? Definitely an advantage to an SUP today, as long as you can turn around fast enough. Oh yeah, ground swell, warm water, warm air. All right, the Carnival rides are spinning. Probably some kind of safety check. I guess the Carnival's opening up tonight. Those of us that like free rides come down here, get on our boards, ride the water. Back out's a good workout. Best workout for skiing. Going over those waves. So like moguls going underneath your feet. That's an easy one. More and more and more. Think you've had enough for today yet? And some time lapses? Are we into the water? Surf camp. Guys. Jimmy, here every day or what? Wow. Hey Jimmy, look at that. You got the Carnival behind you, warming up. And the sky just turned so incredibly blue and beautiful. And we've got one towering cumulonimbus due south from Hull. Clouds just broke, the sun is out. A lot of clean blue sky. Surf. Suddenly summer. part 3. This one's gonna stick around for the rest of the month. Maybe? Look at this out piano, man. After we watch this excellent surf rider. Bugs are going after my ankles. Still can't hold still. More and more and more. Gorgeous evening. Thanks for watching. Talk to you tomorrow.